All right, now this is another important video, and I want to use this video to explain some certain things. But the question today is coming from the part of biology. Now, there are some certain things that we need to know when we are preparing for the UTME examination. And foundationally, there are some topics that you need to put at the back of your mind. One of them is reproduction in plants. But I know some persons will say, oh, I know reproduction, but in plants, you have to pay attention. And we're looking at the plants. We need to be looking at the flowers. I don't want to say much. I want to use this question to bring out a lot of things. So please do me a favor. The only thing where you owe me be say, watch the video, subscribe for your own good, so that anytime I drop any video, you get to watch. And of course, do well to share with your friends. Of course, you can share it after watching. You have to share, make a comment, and of course, we move ahead. Now, you can go through the video over and over again in case you miss any point and you want to check some things out. So quickly, more not waste time. This question, they come from flowers. Now look at it. They said, if the answer, remember how we analyze the question, we are going to look at all terminologies. If the answers, okay, make I underline this answer now. Some people never hear them. If the answers of a flower mature before the stigma, EJ, mature before the stigma, they are not saying the condition is stem dash. First off, we need to check who be flower. See the idiot for here. Now, this flower is the reproductive structure of true plants. Now, what are true plants? You need to hear me now. True plants are regarded as what now? As angiostems. You get them? So now remember I said we have what? Gymnosperms. Now these gymnosperms are plants that produce naked seeds. You remember me and you don't talk about this thing before. Now naked seeds. No, those plants that have naked seeds or gymnosperms. But I talk about the true plants. Angiosperm, the flowering plants. Now they have their reproductive organ as the flower. Now talking about the flower now have two parts. There's what we call the non-essential part. Now, what to answer the question, oh, but I want break and down small. And we have the what? The essential part of the flower. Now, why do they call some parts essential and some part non-essential? Now, the part where they call essential, now one enter first. This part is the part that is involved in reproduction. How is it involved in reproduction? Is the part that produces what? Gametes in a flower. So no wonder they call them essential. That means it's essential for reproduction. So quickly, now if we don't talk about this guy now, what are now the essential part of the flower? We have the male part and the female part. Now that male part, now they call waiting now. Now they call stamen. While the female part, they call them carpel, or you can say what? Pistil. Now this stamen and carpel, this one is the male part of the flower, this one is the female part of the flower. That means this part now will produce what? Male gametes, while this other part will produce what? Female gametes. Now let me be precise and straight to the point, that the male gamete of a flower is regarded as the what? As the pollen grains. That is the male gamete too. But the male structure is what is called the what? The stamen. So the pollen grain is the male gamete, while the stamen is the male what? Structure. Now this carpel now is the female structure. What is now the male? The female gamete is the ovule. EJ, not oval. That oval, and they use them for animals. Oval are the female gamete, what they call egg for animals. But ovule now for plants. Sure, they get them now. Now inside this ovule, they inside somewhere. This ovule is inside the ovary. Sure, they get them. So in other videos, we're going to look at an arrangement of ovule in the ovary and all that, talking about placentation. But just know, say ovule is the female gamete of a flower. Know again that pollen grains is the what? Male gamete of a what? Of a flower. Now let's go to our question. They said if the anther. Now this stamen is made of anther and filaments. That means this pollen grains actually form inside the anther. So this anther now is like part of the male structure of the flower. Sure, you get them now because it's part of the stamen. Now they said if the anther of a flower mature before the stigma, what did they happen? Now this carpel is made of three things. We have the stigma, we have the style, and of course we have the what? The ovary. So remember, this ovary now contains the ovule. Now these three things now they make up the female structure, while this anther and filament make up the male structure. Now you have gotten the picture. Now look at the question. They said if the anther, that means if the male part of a flower mature before the stigma, which is part of the female part, they said that condition is called what? Now let me break down something for you. And this Andrew means male. You see, so no wonder this part is also called the androecium. You dey get am? Now this Andrew means male. Now gyne means gyne. See this other gyne I want to refer to. Gyne means female. So this guy is also called the what? The gynoecium. So you dey get am now. So indirectly, look at it now. Protandry. That means protogyny. See protandry, see protogyny. It means say is the male maturing before the female. Now if the proto first, like first, now the first male, you know that means the male structure they mature first before the female structure. So look at that. If the anther, which is part of the male structure of a flower, mature before the stigma, which is part of the female structure, the condition is called what? The answer there is what? Is protogyny. I mean, is protandry rather. Show you the seed by the breaker because Andrew here means what? Male. Proto means first. So the male go first mature before the female. But if the female first mature before the male, waiting they go call am. What was it called? It is now called what? Protogyny. Show you to get the picture now. So protogyny day, protandry day. This one now, if the male structure of the flower mature before the female structure, protandry. But if the female mature before the male, protogyny. Now, this condition is called dichogamy. That means both male and female mature at different times. That condition is called what? Dichogamy. And this dichogamy, when they mature, that means you can say dichogamy can be two: protandry, protogyny. Show you the get them now. But when the male and female structure of a flower don't mature at the same time, they call it what? Dichogamy. Check out. Show you to get the picture now. Now, this dichogamy encourages something. What does it encourage? It encourages cross-pollination. So it's one of the factors that encourages what? Cross-pollination. But I will not leave without me giving the basic of my channel. Trying to look at the question and they analyze each point. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, now look at it now. They I say this gyne. I don't tell you say now female. Now, if in a flower, they don't give flower before, you will know say flower get base. And that base is regarded as the what? As the receptacle. You get them so? Now, you know, say the ovary is part of the female reproductive structure. If the ovary is totally embedded in the receptacle, like inside, the inside embedded, that condition is called what? Epigyny. You see so? But if it is in between, like not truly embedded, just in between, that condition is called what? Idere, say perigyny. But if it's at the top, it's called what? Hypogyny. Show you the get them now. So this epigyny, hypogyny, perigyny is just classification of flower according to the position of their ovary. If it's totally embedded, we'll call them what? Epigyny. Embedded in where? The receptacle. And those ovary those flowers that have ovary that are totally embedded in the receptacle, they are known as what? Inferior ovary. We'll not call it inferior. Then this other one where we say in between, we call it half inferior. Then this one where we say the ovary can't day up, they call them waiting now superior ovary. So if you listen very well, you'll be able to analyze. So it's not about the length of the video. I want to bring out some certain things very, very fast. So do well to share the video with your friends. Your friends don't know that, oh, MOSJARO has a channel. Please do well to share the video with them. So we have other videos to share or to look at other questions back to back. Remember, the last straw. Don't forget the live stream on the 15th of April. Last straw that broke the camel's back. Talking about jam. So let's look at it together before the exam. Very important. Live stream on when it's on the 15th again. Maybe on 15th is Tuesday. I don't know again. On the 15th of April, last straw. Don't miss that class. It's going to be a live class. So get your phone ready. Get your MB ready. Go buy MB. Not the look me for face. Get out of here.